नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Srimad-Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 5, Text 33. Lord Rishabhdeva's teachings. Tasya yah puripasura surabhi saugandhyavayustam desham dasayojanam samanta surabhim chakara. So what do you do? इसमें क्या करेगा? हैं? अच्छा कर। तस्य, मेरे साथ बोलिए, स्पीक विथ मी। तस्य यह पुरीपसुराभि सौगंध्य वायुस्तं देशं दशयोजनं समन्तात् सुरभिं चकार। तस्य यः पुरीपसुरभि सौगंध्य वायुस्तं देशं दशयोजनं समन्तात् सुरभिं चकार। तस्य यः पुरीपसुरभि सौगन्ध्यवायुस्तं देशं समन्तात् सुरभिं चकार। तस्य यः पुरीपसुरभि सौगन्ध्य तस्य यः पुरीपसुरभि सौगन्ध्यवायुस्तं देशं दशयोजनं समन्तात् सुरभिं चकार। दशयोजनं समन्तात्। Any ladies? तस्य यः पुरीपसुरभि वायुस्तं देशं दशयोजनं समन्तात् सुरभि चकार। यः सौगन्ध्यवायुस्तं देशं दशयोजनं समन्तात् सुरभिं चकार। तस्य his, her, indeed, yaha, which, Purisha, of the stool, Surabhi, by the aroma, Saugandhya, possessing a good fragrance, Vayu, the air, Tam, that, Desham, country, Dasha, up to 10, Yojanam, Yojanas, 1 yojana equals 8 miles, Samantat, all around, Surabhim, aromatic, Chakara, made. Because Lord Rishabhdev remained in that condition, public did not disturb him. But no bad aroma emanated from his stool and urine. Quite the contrary, his stool and urine were so aromatic that they filled 80 miles of the countryside with a pleasant fragrance. Please repeat the translation. Because Lord Rishabhdev remained in that condition, the public did not disturb him, but no bad aroma emanated from his stool and urine. Quite the contrary, his stool and urine were so aromatic that they filled 80 miles of the countryside with a pleasant fragrance. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. From this we can certainly assume that Lord Rishabhdev was transcendentally blissful. His stool and urine were so completely different from material stool and urine that they were aromatic. Even in the material world, cow dung is accepted as purified and antiseptic. A person can keep stacks of cow dung in one place. It will not create a bad odor, disturb anyone. You can take it for granted. In the spiritual world, stool and urine are also pleasantly scented. Indeed, the entire atmosphere became very pleasant due to Lord Rishabhdev's stool and urine. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. It is said that Matang starkena yojet. What is the first line? So this is the divine arrangement. This is not easily understandable by our material senses. Mundane senses cannot understand anything about God, about Krishna. Atha Shri Krishna Namadi Navaved Grahya Mindrehi Sevanmukhi Jivado Swami Asvatyada. Just like there is incarnation of boar, Varaha, incarnation of Matsya, incarnation of Kurma. These living entities in the material world are considered in the mode of ignorance. But when the Lord assumes these forms, they are as transcendental as the form of Ram and Krishna. Angani yasya sakalendriya vrittivanti pashyanti panti kalayanti chiram jaganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhujo Palasya Govinda Madi Purusham Tamamana. Ananda Chinmaya. Everything about the Lord is Ananda Chinmaya. And now here in Srimad Bhagavatam there is a proof that even his stool and urine is Ananda Chinmaya. People have no idea about God. God is an old man. God's business is to cast people into heaven and hell. He's just an old judicial magistrate. No, he is the greatest enjoyer. Bhaktaram Yagnatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. I am the enjoyer of all yagyas and austerities and penances and sacrifices. And I am the supreme planet of all, supreme lord of all the planets. Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. Suridam Sarvabhutanam and I am the friend of all living entities. When one knows this, then he attains peace. If I think that I am enjoyer and God is supplier of enjoyment, then I cannot get peace. That is a reverse cycle. I am enjoyer and God is supplier. Bhakti means God is enjoyer and I am supplier. I am supplier of the pleasure to Him. I am supplier of service to Him. Devotional service. Actually, Krishna is complete in everything. He does not need anything from us, but He demands everything. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. He demands everything because He wants us to be situated on the platform of service so that He can give Himself to us. Sadho hridayam mahyam sadhana hridayam toham adhanatya na janati te naham tenag managapi tebyam managapi. These sadhus are my heart. Saintly person, devotees are my heart. And I am the heart of the devotees. They do not know anything besides me, and I do not know anything besides them. So if we give our tiny self to Krishna, He gives His big self to us. He is Ananta and we are small, Anu. He is Vibhu, we are Anu. He is the reservoir of pleasure, we are a small drop of pleasure. But if our drop of pleasure we sacrifice for the lotus feet of Krishna, then He gives the ocean of pleasure to us. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Sindhu. Jara age Trinatulya, Mokshadi Anand Bindu. Panchama Purushartha Prema Mahadana, Jara age Trinatulya Chare Purushartha. The four progressive values of life. Dharma, Artha, Kam, Moksha. They are very good for material life, for one who wants to enjoy sense gratification. And the Vedas, they glorify such Purusharthas. However, there is a fifth dimension, the fifth Purushartha. That is Krishna Prem. So when Lord Chaitanya met Prakashananda Saraswati, they were expecting him to engage in regular discourse on Shastra, Shastrartha, Vedas, Vedanta. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the very beginning, completely dismissed everything by so humbly putting himself, Guru more murkha dekhi karila shasan, murkha tumi tumar nahi vedanta adhikar. Krishna mantra japa sada sarva mantra sar. You are a foolish, my Guru told me, you are a foolish person, you do not have any proper understanding of Vedanta, you cannot have understanding because you are a foolish person. Simply chant Hare Krishna, Krishna mantra japa sada. It is the essence of all mantras. So he avoided the entire discussion of Shastra, even though he was the greatest scholar, Nimai Pandit. He knew all the Shastra and he later on defeated them in the understanding of Vedanta also. But in the beginning, he avoided all the discussion as a wasteful time. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. The waste of time. Narad Muni told Vyasadeva, Jugupsitam dharma krute anushasata, sabhava raktasya mahan ratikrama. Jugupsitam. You have delineated dharma, artha, kama and moksha, but it is condemnable. It is disgusting, jugupsitam. Because people are already interested in sense gratification, and you have given them that sense gratification in the form of dharma. People practice dharma not for liberation, not for permanent liberation from the cycle of birth and death, but for more sense gratification, more entanglement. Therefore it is condemnable. So Lord Chaitanya did not at any time encourage such entanglement. Chaitanya Charitamrita has 11,000 verses. Chaitanya Bhagavata has another 11,000 verses. In all these 22,000 verses, there is not a tinge, not a drop of sense gratification involved anywhere. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada wrote how many books? 100 books. In all these books, there is nothing but pure devotional service dripping from every page, saturated with pure devotional service, Shuddha Bhakti. Whether he is talking about Rishabdev, whether he is talking about Lord Varaha, whether he is talking about Lord Kurmadev, Lord Matsyavatar, Prabhupada is only talking about pure devotional service. Because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Krishna Tulya Bhagavata, Vibhu Sarvashraya, Prati Shloke Prati Akshare Nana Arthakaya. Srimad Bhagavatam is as good as Krishna, Krishna Tulya Bhagavata. So in one verse, Atmaram verse, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained 300 different shlokas, 61 different meanings. Atma word has 7 meanings in the Sanskrit dictionary. Cha, Atmaramasya Munayo, Atmaramasya Munayo, Nirgantha, Api Urukrame, Kuruvanti Ahetukim Bhaktim, Itham Bhitu Guno, Itham Bhutu Guno Hari. So every word was analyzed, scholarly, not just whimsically, but scholarly according to the Nirukti dictionary. And then each word was combined with the verb and with the adjective, and 61 different meanings were churned out. So Sanatana Goswami was amazed. He said, Dear Lord, you are the giver of Vedas to Brahma. You instructed Brahma in Brahma's heart, the Vedic knowledge. So there is no wonder you can give these 61 meanings of Srimad Bhagavatam. One verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. Chaitanya Prabhu says, why are you praising me? Praise the Bhagavatam. Because Bhagavatam is non-different from Krishna. And every word and every syllable gives various meanings of Bhagavatam. So, we should study Bhagavatam very carefully and faithfully. Shraddha Shabda Vishwas Sudruda Nishchaya Krishna Karma Kaila Sarva Karma Krita Hoy. If understanding Krishna's instructions, serving Krishna is everything. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought the discussion on the central point, Krishna and His holy name. Not even Krishna, but Krishna's holy name first. Because it is only through the holy name that you can understand Krishna. Tapan Mishra was a very nice Brahman. He was not interested in sense gratification. He was in Bengal. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had not yet manifested his loving pastimes. He was traveling around as a Nimai Pandit, and people were astounded by his scholarship. Wherever he went, people worshipped him like a demigod. As a householder, he went from town to town, village to village, talking about Vedic literatures, Vedic culture, giving knowledge. And if somebody asked, also to touch the spiritual knowledge. So this Tapan Mishra, he was always thinking, what is the ultimate goal of life? He was not interested in sense gratification. I want a nice big house, nice big car, nice lot of money. No. Vishaya Sukh was not attracting him. He was interested in transcendental knowledge. But there are so many different paths, different worships, different yogas, different yogis, different gurus, different sadhus. So he was confused. What is the actual? And they all looked sincere. Just like here in Rishabhdeva's pastimes is totally different from Krishna's pastimes. One has to understand, if you have a proper direction from spiritual master, then you can adjust, then you can accommodate. Otherwise, some foolish person will say, I will take Rishabhdeva's path and forget about Krishna. And they did that. Few verses later, you will see that the king of Konk, Arahan, Venkat countries, his name was Arhat. He started imitating Rishabhdeva's activities. And he started a bogus religion called Jainism, atheistic religion. They do not take bath, they're sadhus. They pick their hair by picking them, plucking them. And they have very unclean habits, sadhus. They perform austerities as an imitation of Rishabhdeva, but they have in the process denounced Vedas. Veda pranihito dharmo, Vedo sakshat Narayana. Vedas are the basis of dharma. Vedas are expression of Narayana. If there is no Vedas, then there is Gnostic, atheism. And they do believe there is no God or controller. So if you misunderstand Rishabhdeva's pastimes, you can become an atheist. But because Srimad Bhagavatam is so nice, in the very first verse he explains, Namunchate deha yogena tavat yavan bhakti mai vasudeve parabhavas tavad vodo jato yavan jigyasa atmatattvam yavat kriyas tavad idam manovai karmatmakam vyena sharira bandha. If one has not developed spiritual knowledge in human form of life, his life is defeated. He wins so many games in the life, but the end game, he loses. He has lots of money, he wins beautiful wife, nice children, nice house, nice cars, nice name and fame and prestige. But at the time of death, everything is taken away, zero. Therefore the last game is lost. Therefore he says, Parabhavas tavad abodha jato. It is only the consciousness which we come with and consciousness which we go with that matters. We come with a lower consciousness and we go with a higher consciousness. That is our gain in human form of life. If we come with a lower consciousness and go with lower consciousness, then that is a loss, that is defeat. So the whole human form of life is a vehicle to elevate the soul from lower platform to the higher platform. So as long as material activities is there, material mind is there, material body again will come. Yavat kriyas, tavat manovai. Karmatmakam yena sharir bandha. Another body will come. There is a little bit of material mind, material desires, another material body will become. It's like Bharat Maharaj, he was a great sage, Bharat Rishi, but he got attached to a deer. He was such a great soul, perfectly situated in knowledge. He was on a very high platform of devotional service, Bhava Bhakti. But he became attached to one deer and he had to become a deer. It was just a token punishment to him because he became a little lax in his spiritual life. So what to speak of us? We are attracted by so many distractions. So Rishabhdev says, Yavat kriyas tavat manovai. Yavat kriyas tavat idam manovai. Evam mana karma vashang prayukte. Avidya atmanu pradhyamana. Evam mana, when mind is thus colored by karma, then avidya gives you another material body. Namuchyate deha yogena tavat yavanna bhakti mayi vasudeve. Mayi vasudeve. Until one develops bhakti in me, Vasudev, he does not release his soul from the bondage of birth and death, another body. So he identifies himself as Vasudev with Krishna. He is Krishna. Rishabhdev is non different from Krishna. But if you misunderstand Krishna and become an atheist, that's possible. So you require Srimad Bhagavatam and you require to study Srimad Bhagavatam from the person Bhagavatam. Bhagavata Padadiya, Bhagavata Sthane. So this Tapan Mishra was asking, was puzzled in the mind. One day he had a dream in which a demigod came and told him, Nimai Pandit is in your town. I know you are very disturbed, always thinking about what is sadhya and what is sadhan. So go to Nimai Pandit, he will explain to you, he will teach you. So he came to Nimai Pandit next morning, started crying, please tell me sadhya sadhan. So very simply, Lord Chaitanya directly, straightforwardly told him that in the material world, the living entities are bewildered. They are lost. Therefore, Krishna comes time to time and establishes religious principles. There are 4 yugas and 4 dharmas, 4 yuga dharmas. In Kali Yuga, meditation. In Treta Yuga, sacrifices. In Dwapar Yuga, temple worship. And in Kali Yuga, holy name of Krishna, Hari Kirtan. Shuna Mishra Kali Yuga nahi tapa yagya. Je jana bhaje Krishna tar mahabhagya. One Mishra, in Kali Yuga there is no austerity and there is no sacrifice. One who worships Krishna, he is the most fortunate. Ratri dina nam laya khaite shuite. Ratri dina, day and night, while eating, while sleeping, chant Hare Krishna. Ratri dina nam laya khaite shuite. Tahara mahima veda nahi paradite. And the glories of this holy name cannot be described even by the Vedas. Vedas are incapable of describing the glories of the holy name. Tahara mahima veda nahi paradite. This is the most confidential secret that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed first time to Tapan Mishra. Even when he has not manifested his loving ecstasies. So, Atayeva grihe tumi gya Krishna bhaja kutinati parihari ekanta hayya. Isliye you go home, worship Krishna, give up all duplicitous behavior, kutinati parihari. Don't be interested in this idle gossip that I will worship, telling this man this thing, this man another thing. Devotees should not have any duplicitous behavior. straightforward dealing, satuvrutte. Kutinadi parihari ekanta hayya. And then he said, these two mantras he taught. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam. Kalo nastyeva, nastyeva, nastyeva gatiranyatha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. 16 नाम 32 अक्षर यही तंत्र. 16 names and 32 letters. This is the arrangement. ये तो नाम बोली लय महामंत्र. This is called Mahamantra. And this is the arrangement of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. साधिते साधिते जब प्रेमांकुर हवे साध्य साधन सकले सवेते जाने. As you go on chanting, and the love of God will fructify in the heart, all that is necessary for sadhya and sadhan, for knowing what is to be attained, what is the ultimate goal, and what is the way to achieve the ultimate goal, sadhya. All the knowledge will come from the heart, manifest in the heart. Spontaneously, the knowledge will manifest in the heart. You don't have to try separately. We see sometimes very simple devotee, every day distributing book, every day chanting, every day following principles. Not a big shot, not a big leader, not a big. But he's so sincere. Every day he goes on chanting, goes on distributing books, goes on quietly. He has understood the philosophy much better than so-called big leaders. Sometimes big leaders, they lose faith in Prabhupada. They challenge Prabhupada. Prabhupada is teaching Indian philosophy, Indian culture. The Vedic culture is Indian culture. Vedic culture is not Indian culture. Vedic culture is eternal culture, is Sanatan culture, Sanatan Dharma culture. It is non-different from spiritual culture. You cannot separate the two. This is the mother of Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, Prabhupada would have no interest in transporting the Vedic culture. So, misunderstanding. We should not try to judge Prabhupada from our modern ideas of what is prevalent today. If we try to judge Acharya from the modern atmosphere, then we will misunderstand him. We have to judge the modern atmosphere based on the teachings of the Acharya. Not that the Acharya should be judged by our modern standards. That is called losing the faith. If the Acharya was so powerful that he came in 1960s in the middle of hippie revolution, and he made people wear dhoti kurta, shaved hair, tilaks in the middle of 20th century America, how powerful he is. That he is transporting 500-year-old culture, Gaudiya culture, Gaudiya philosophy culture. He is transporting in America 500-year-old culture. Now what is it? 25, 30 years have passed, and now why should we change? It is the same demoniac culture then than it was now. There is no need to change anything. The Prabhupada says, don't change anything. Just do as I say. Even that cannot be done in Kali Yuga. As it is. Bhagavad Gita as it is. If you can just live life as it is given by Prabhupada, our life is successful. If you change something, immediately become a mouse again. Punarmushiko bhava. As soon as we change Prabhupada's philosophy, immediately we become mouse. Punarmushiko bhava. He made you a tiger, made you a great devotee, a great saint. Now you are challenging him, become a mouse again. So be very careful. Faith in the words of spiritual master. Guru Mukha Padma Vakya. Chityate kariya eke. Ar na kariha mane asha. Shri Guru Charane Rati Aishe Uttama Gati. Prasade Pure Sarva Asa. If you have faith, if you cannot understand something, don't worry. Just go on chanting. Understanding will come from the heart. Krishna will give you understanding. Have patience, have faith. But do not try to change anything. As soon as you try to change, you will be finished. You do not use your mundane logic, mundane philosophy, mundane ideas to subvert the teachings of Prabhupada. That is the greatest unfortunate thing that can happen to us. So here, we, by the grace of Prabhupada, we accept that Rishabdev's stool and urine were actually aromatic, they were fragrant, they were spiritual, and they were transcendental. We have no doubt. We have no doubt that Maharaj Ugrasen had 1 billion servants. Srimad Bhagavatam is said, Maharaj Ugrasen had 1 billion servants. Or Chitraketu had 1 billion wives. He didn't have any son, so he had millions of wives. Now it is difficult to understand how one man can have millions. He cannot even see them every day. How did he marry them? When did he marry them? But he says, we are only living in a very tiny world in this earth. And now the present day Dwarka is only hardly 10 kilometers, 10 square kilometers, 3-4. And how is Chappan Koti Yadav, 56 crore Yadavs, how did they live in Dwarka? How did they all servants and associates they lived? Dwarka had to be much bigger than earth itself. But that is there. Krishna's creation appears and disappears. One day of Krishna's Rasa Leela, one night, it was as long as Brahma's night. How can we understand? In one sentence, Shukadeva Goswami says, Krishna's Rasa Leela was as long as Brahma's night. Brahma's night is 1000 ages. So all these mysterious statements are there in the scripture. Achintya khalu ye bhava natans tarkena yoje. These are achintya, inconceivable. With our tiny brain we cannot understand, but we accept it. Prabhupada says, what is the difficulty? If you cannot understand this one, you go on to the next one. What is the difficulty? He said. If you can understand something, don't worry, go to the next one. Just like when you go to exam, when you sit in the class exam, you don't answer every question. If you don't know some question, you go to the next one. If you just spend all your time thinking about the answer to a question you don't know, you will fail in exam. You should go to the things that you can understand. You should go to the things that you can accept. Something cannot be understood, then it's all right. Gradually you will understand. It's not necessary to know whether King Ugrasen had 1 million servants or 1 billion servants. What does it matter? It's just information. But it is possible. What is impossible for God, for Krishna? He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Overnight, in Mathura, 17 times Jarasandha was defeated, 17 times. 18th time Jarasandha came along with Kaliyavan. So Krishna thought, now I will transfer them. So called Vishwakarma. He made the city in one night, Dwarka. And while they were sleeping, all the Mathuravasi, they were transferred to Dwarka while in their sleep. And they woke up in Dwarka. This is possible. What is impossible for Krishna is God. Kartum, akartum, anyatha kartum. He can do anything, he can undo anything, he can do and undo both, everything. This is the faith. Just like Narad Muni went to a cobbler, and cobbler said, "Where are you going?" "I am going to Narayan, see Narayan." "Oh, please offer my obeisances to him. Tell me how you see Narayan and what was he doing and everything when you come back." "Okay." Went to a Brahman, very pure Brahman, very big expert in chanting mantras and performing austerities and penances. And he met the Brahman. Brahman said, "Where are you going?" "I am going to Narayan, Vaikuntha." "Oh, very good. Offer my obeisances to him. Let me know what he is doing. And also ask when I will be liberated from the cycle of birth and death." So he asked about cobbler Narayan. He went, saw Narayan, offered obeisance and asked, "I met this cobbler, I met this Brahman. When will they be delivered?" Brahman will take 100 lifetimes. Cobbler will be delivered in this life. Mochi will be delivered in this life, and Brahman will take 100 lifetimes. Why? Narayan smiled. He said, "Just when they ask you what I was doing, just tell them I was trying to pass an elephant through the eye of a needle." Elephant was going through the needle. So when he told Brahman that you will take some more lifetimes, "Oh, why? I am so pure, I am following all the rules." "I don't believe you went to Narayan." What was he doing? He was passing an elephant through the eye of the needle. "Oh, you are joking. So you never went to Narayan. How can anybody pass elephant through the eye of the needle?" He went to cobbler, Mochi. He told him Narayan was passing elephant through the eye of the needle. So cobbler said, "Oh, that's wonderful. He can do anything. He puts a big banyan tree in a small seed like this. You put a small seed in the ground and a big banyan tree comes out. So what is impossible for him? From the pores of his body, big universes come out. What is impossible for Narayan?" So Narad Muni understood, this man has faith, this man has no faith. That's the difference. Shraddha, Kanishtha, Madhyam, Uttam, Shraddha Anusari. According to the faith, one is considered Kanishtha, Madhyam or Uttam. Jahara Komala Shraddha se Kanishtha naam. One whose faith is very delicate is called Kanishtha. One whose faith is strong, but he is not very expert in Shastras, he is called Madhyam. And Shastra Yukta Sunipurna, Dhrada Saddhavan. And one who is expert in Shastras and firm faith, who has firm faith, he is called Uttam Bhakta. So Shraddha Anusari. According to Shraddha or faith, one is known as Uttam, Madhyam or Kanishtha Bhakta. So Shraddha we have to cultivate. We sing every day the song, "O he Vaishnava Thakur Dayara Sagari Dasya Karuna Kari Diya Pada Chaya Shodhaya Amaya Tumhara Charana Dhari." Tumi kripa kari Shraddha Bindu Diya Deha Krishna Nama Dhane. What is it? Ekaki Ama Nahi Payabal Harinama Sankirtane Tumi kripa kari Shraddha Bindu Diya Deha Krishna Nama Dhane. Ekaki Ama, alone. I have no power to execute Krishna consciousness or Sankirtan activities. But you please give me a drop of faith, Shraddha Bindu Diya, and give me faith in the holy name of Krishna. And that faith comes from service. By serving the spiritual master, by serving the Mahabhagavat, the faith comes. It's very simple as that. Yasya prasadad, Bhagavad prasad. Yasya prasadad, nagati kutu. If Mahabhagavat spiritual master is pleased, Krishna is pleased. And if he is not pleased, there is no gati, there is no progress, there is no advancement whatsoever. So, tarka vitarka will not help us, but execution of devotional service as per the order of Srila Prabhupada, that will help us. That will guarantee success in life. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any questions?